Hi, I'm Pam Sidhu. I am a mindfulness teacher. I'm also a life coach. I'm trained in the mind, basically. That's my background. I've been doing this since 2001. How we use the mind, how our thoughts actually work, just fascinates me. I'm also a holistic nutritionist. My day job is working on the radio. I have my own show every afternoon at one of the biggest British Asian regional stations here in the UK. I'm at Cyprus Radio.
If you almost think of your mind in general as an iceberg, you're seeing what's above the water, not realizing that the bottom part, in other words, the far greater part that's below the water, is what's influencing the movement of what's above the water. If you can imagine, the conscious mind is just you're conscious, you look around and you recognize certain things in the world, in your life, and you're looking, if you wish, just through your eyes. However, the conscious mind is completely dependent upon the unconscious mind. The unconscious mind acts almost like a photographic plate. From the time you're born, everything is in there that you've learned. So you have programs in there, learnings in there, within the unconscious mind, which allows you to recognize things.
And it's important for us to understand how the mind works. So if you imagine like you've got an iceberg, and the tip of that iceberg that's above the sea is the conscious mind. And they've proven scientifically we only use between 5 and 7% of the conscious mind. Only 5 or 7%. The rest of it is the subconscious, which is beneath the sea.
So the unconscious mind is the part, if you wish, where everything is stored. Now, the material in there can be right or wrong. As simple as that. It's not necessarily dependent on logic, although we like to think that we're logical.
And this is what, again, got me to study the way the mind works. And I realised that we actually have a record button, where if we give something our full attention, we press record on that button, and whatever it is, whatever that learning is, it goes in and it's stored into the subconscious mind.
Freud, for example, pointed out that we were merely puppets of the unconscious mind, that all of the material that's stored in there actually dictates everything, our actions, our state of health, our attitude to the world. So the unconscious mind is the part, if you wish, where everything is stored.
And this is why Freud said that we're puppets of the subconscious. So when I learnt this, and I started to go back and look at my recordings and look at what have I actually recorded, what's my stuff and what's other people's stuff, and start to actually separate that.
And you can have, for example, all sorts of ridiculous things that a person is liable to do. A person could be terrified of a spider, and you could say, well, or a moth. How could they be terrified of this? The reason is that maybe as a child they're lying in the pram and a moth maybe comes onto their face and they start screaming, and the more the child screams, it alarms itself, and the unconscious mind literally photographs this, so that now this self-contained adult almost, they can find themselves in a position that if they see a moth, this program that's stored into the unconscious mind jumps up, and that's what a phobia is. And they could even become hysterical or terrified of something as simple as a spider. And obviously, if you just brushed off either one, you could kill them. So it's not necessarily logical what's in our minds. It just depends on the type of programs and the emotional weight that they have.
Because often, I found that in the past, before I learnt this, I could be stressing about something that happened a long time ago. It wasn't happening then in that moment in time. And in this moment, everything is perfect. Unless, of course, unfortunately, you're living in a war zone or something like that. But right now, we're really blessed because everything is perfect here. Definitely. I have done a number of different courses, a number of different seminars, and took something from each different one. And there was, as they say, that saying that when the student's ready, the teacher appears. So I've had so many great teachers that have taught me so much and given me the right golden nugget of wisdom that I've needed at that part of my journey. So a lot of the times when people might be feeling not great, it's just because of what's stored in the subconscious, and we do have a choice. We can get back in the driver's seat and we can take control of that. Often we just need the right guidance to find the right teacher to educate our minds in the right way.